Raghu Kiran. Welcome to Future of Our People. It's a podcast series dedicated to leaders who are shaping the future of work. Today, we are honored to have Mr. Ashutosh Inamdar with us, who has recently been promoted to the position of CEO at Lupin Life Sciences. It's a subsidiary of Lupin Limited. Under his leadership, Lupin Life Sciences continues to grow and innovate, especially as they aim to expand their presence in the trade generic segment. Known for his people-centric leadership and strategic focus on digital transformation, Ashutosh has played a key role in improving business processes and customer engagement. His extensive experience, which span leadership roles at Mahindra Group, Gammon India Limited, and Verizon, has prepared him to navigate the ever-evolving healthcare landscape. Today, we'll deep dive into Ashutosh's leadership approach, best practices, vision for Lupin Life Sciences, and his outlook for India's pharma. Ashutosh, it's great to have you with us.
Pleasure, Raghu, to join you and be a part of this great series which you're shaping it up for the people in the corporate world. And thanks for those kind words. I hope I live up to that.
Thank you, Ashutosh. I have to say you have a remarkable journey, which we want to get deep dive into it. I mean, if I'm right, you started as an analyst and you yourself as a CEO. So it's always interesting to see what behaviors and what mindset that you shaped yourself to become the CEO. Can you just share a bit about your journey to becoming the CEO of Lupin Life Sciences? And most importantly, what inspired you to pursue a career in this industry?
Yeah, sure. So first of all, I guess you always have an aspiration to head an organization at some point of time. So obviously I wanted to be a CEO. Probably I got a chance slightly early in my career. I started as an analyst way back in 2005. But then I realized that I'm more on the business side rather than the technology side. That's where I did my MBA from Ahmedabad. And from that point, I felt that you really need to work closely with the CEOs and the managing directors if you really want to shadow them at any given point. Mm-hmm. That's the reason why post my MBA, I have all my profiles in strategy and working very closely with the CEOs and the MDs or the deputy managing directors. And the reason was, I personally feel one is to understand the sector, one is to understand the function, one is to probably get more into a particular business area. But the traits of a leader, the traits of managing people, the traits of how do you work in adversaries, the traits of how do you monitor things, the traits of given in the limited time, how can you do all the things that you want to do? Because as you keep on growing up in the ladder, the roles and responsibilities are only going to go up. The number of people you are going to manage is only to go up. The kind of business pressures that you will be dealing with is only going to go up. So that's the reason why one of the key things which I personally feel that has probably shaped me in becoming CEO is working with the CEOs, working with the top leadership, because you see them day in, day out. And I feel what differentiates a leader more also when you consider people skills, they are important. But I guess decision making is something which really differentiates a lot of them. Because as a leader, it's very important for you to analyze and see, because decision is something which you take finally, but what goes behind that decision? What is the thought process that goes behind decision? What priorities? What should you do? What shouldn't do? I guess decision making is something which I learned a lot from these people, in addition to managing people, communication, because the hard skills which are there in the business, what is the pharmaceutical market, or what was the automobile sector, or when I was working with Mahindra, what was the construction equipment business. See, if you have a decent business acumen, you can probably learn that in a month or two, 3 months at stretch. But the softer skills, understanding people, being with people, because see, when you become a CEO, you need to know one thing: you can't do everything. You need to have right set of people to do everything, and for that you need to know your business very well, and you need to know your people very well. I guess these two things are something which I'm trying to practice now and which have helped me.
I mean, that's pretty impressive. Not many people, Ashutosh, are lucky to enough, when they start their career to shadow managing directors or CEO. How did you get there? How did you? I mean, if I had to reflect myself, I would definitely. That's one thing I would change myself to shadow a CEO, because at such a young age, when you are observing, I mean, through discussion, learning, and experience, you learn a lot. But how did you get that?
So the first time, to be very frank, it was pot of luck. Okay, it was pure pot of luck. The first time when I got there, I always wanted to be an investment banker. Okay, that's the reason why I kind of joined. But the year I passed out, Lehman Brothers had collapsed. So obviously, it was not the right time to get into the finance sector, and I got this role, and that's where I kind of thought about it. That this role makes much more sense than just being probably an investment banker or getting into finance, because ultimately I said that would I want to become, what would you want to become, right, ultimately. And then I thought that no, at some point of time I would love to lead a business, because when you're heading a business you get to do everything, whether it's finance, whether it's marketing, whether it's strategy, uh, whether it's operations, whether it's forecasting, everything. And I guess that's something which I'm passionate about, running the business, because every day is different. Every moment, the markets are changing, the people are changing, the competition is behaving differently every day. And I guess that's what excited me. And I guess first was part of luck, but then I continued that. Then I decided that no, if I really want to go fast in my career, I need to really kind of be with the right set of people. And thankfully, I've really got amazing leaders with whom I work as my bosses. Currently in Lupin, I work with Mr. Rajiv Sibal, who's the president of Lupin Business. One of the rare leaders who can be the decision making that he gets on the table. I guess that differentiates him from the rest of the pack in the Indian pharma market. I've worked earlier with Mahindra, worked earlier with Gammon India, and all across I've got some amazing leadership. And trust me, the traits thankfully were quite different of every leader. So I kind of saw everything. I've seen people's man, I've seen extremely communication focused person, I've seen a strategic focused person, and now when I'm working here, it's quite a holistic leader that I'm currently working under. And that's where I guess I've been here for like almost a decade now. And I guess, like what they say, you don't leave the organization, you leave the boss. And if you are in an organization, I guess somewhere that boss plays a big role, in addition to obviously the organization that you're working for, the culture, the values, and all. So first was part of luck, but then I decided that no, I have to kind of be in this space. And so 15 years straight in his strategy, and then I plunged finally into business, because I felt that somewhere implementation of strategy is more important now, and not just kind of ideation and innovation. So there I am right now.
Impressive. As I said, right, you're quite lucky enough. I think luck played a role to get that break. But as you continue to move up the ladder, and I'm sure there are a lot of skills and competencies that you had to learn. So how did you go about learning those competencies and skills to ensure that whilst you're getting real life experience by observing and learning from the leaders, is there any practice diligently followed to help you to shape yourself to continuously evolve and reach those expectations?
See, the first thing which I really learned, and that I learned in Mahindra, where my senior said, if you really want to ace something, go in depth of it. Don't be at a 30,000 feet level, no matter what. If you really want to understand anything, see, obviously, I've seen different sectors. I've seen telecom, I've seen IT, BFSI, I've seen manufacturing, and now pharma. Unless and until you get in depth of that business, like who is your customer? Why is the customer buying this? What is your USP? What are the when you go to the customer, what the customer feels about you. I guess the first thing, and obviously it sounds to be very cliche, but if you really want to understand or if you really want to grow up the ladder, is that you need to know your business in and out, right from the raw materials to your manufacturing, to your transportation, to your distribution, to your sales and marketing, to your collection, your finance, everything. You should know the in and out of it. And I guess that kind of helps you then answer that why a customer will probably buy from you. Because no matter in whichever business you are, ultimately your revenues, your growth is kind of driven by the customers. I guess that was more on the kind of business part of it. I guess one thing which I kind of followed every time was that I guess there's no substitution for hard work and perseverance. I have always taken more responsibilities without me actually given given those responsibilities. So if I have my role doing X, I will always do X plus Y plus Z. And I don't have to prove myself then because I have already done my X and the company can see I can do Y plus Z. So then obviously why not take high responsibility? So I guess this is something which I want every youngster to practice. While you're doing your role, don't just stand there. While you're doing your role, don't just do what is required. Do much beyond that. Because then you don't have to prove yourself. You have already proved it. And trust me, as you grow up the ladder, it's hard to find good talent. Trust me, it is very hard to find good talent. And that's when I guess you start getting returns of your hard work, your investment in the organization. So it's very important for you to persevere to a level where you don't have to showcase anything. Your work itself showcases everything. I guess that's another thing which I followed starting right from Gammon, Mahindra, and now at Lupin Life Sciences Limited. The third thing I feel is be a genuine person. Okay, if you're a genuine person, you don't have to act different with different people because then it becomes very easy for you to manage. And I guess somewhere put your people much above you because I believe that if your people grow, then you grow. It's not the reverse way around. It's never that you grow and then your people grow. No, your people grow and that's where you grow. Because obviously, they are the ones who are kind of helping you drive everything, whether it's business, whether it's your daily operations, whatever it is. So the third thing was, I guess, be genuine with your customer, be extremely transparent. People love transparency. People like when you're genuine. See, everything can't be hunky dory and everything can't be perfect and positive every point of time. But if they feel that, using a Hindi thing, I don't think so. He is lying, and I guess probably we should support him and we should take it on. I guess then it's a different story. And you know what? It doesn't take time for you to then have that strong relationship either with your customers, with your stakeholders, with your employees, because they see that you are genuine. It's not like you are two-faced. And see, people understand. Even if you talk anything in front of them, what you talk behind that. I guess I don't do that, and I've been genuine throughout. That's third thing. I guess fourth thing, which I would say is over a period of time, I've started improving my decision making. I guess that is something which I guess it comes with experience. You really can't learn it by reading books, or that's where I said when I work with the CEOs, you understand their thought process, right? When an important decision is being taken, they ask you the data, they ask you what is it. Then when they finally take the decision, and you ask them why, and then they answer it, then you understand that, oh, this could be a decision, and this is the reason why they have taken it. So I guess over a period of time, decision making is something which I have improved, and that comes with experience and probably working with leaders who are good at it. Because for me, no decision is as bad as bad decision, right? And taking decisions, see, sometimes the decisions may get wrong, but I guess if you have analyzed it, and you're taking a decision, uh, might as well take the decision and rather than delay it. I guess that's one thing which I have learned over these years. So that's more about it as I grew, and obviously uh, I'm just like become a CEO, so it's the learning phase continues. I guess the learning phase doesn't stop at all because the world is so dynamic. The the elasticity of business, the way things are shaping up with Gen X coming in and
Mm.
Gen Z coming in and whatnot, and regulations and competition. I guess it's better to be a lifetime learner rather than a know-it-all kind of a person. So, and I have that's one thing which I've kept. I always listen to people. I always understand what their perspective is because, okay, even if they're repeating what you know, there could be some insight which you can learn from them, and then it's easier for you to take decisions.
It's pretty amazing, Ashutosh. How you put those learnings into practice, either in terms of active listening or or in terms of decision making, right? You kind of balance your both brain and heart side of the business. And one thing I liked about what you said is how you went about above and beyond your normal duties, right? It's not
Yeah.
just you kind of bonded by your job, right? Doing the job is not going to get you results. You need to is doing the job is in a way is achieving the results.
Right.
Mindset of it's not I'm not
Absolutely.
right with that mindset, and you also talked about being genuine, being trust and transparent, and that's fundamental, right? And the great thing is it's a you put that into practice, and that was clearly visible to the people that you're engaging with, genuineness in you, and these are the traits that kind of helped you kind of to become and to reach the ladder as well, right? So going back to that, it's quite intriguing about decision making, which I know many leaders do struggle, and especially we are living in the economic uncertainty, right? As you talked about, there is so much of volatility. In a nutshell, we are living in a VUCA world, right? And you being a leader for one of the subsidiaries, how do you, where you have to deal with diverse stakeholders? So how do you manage the conflicting priorities such as like short-term profitability versus long-term innovation and sustainability initiatives? How do you balance that? Because I've seen, Ashutosh, why I asked that, because I've seen like a lot of leaders do often struggle. So perhaps we just wanted to get your views and thoughts around that.
I guess you just asked me a question which I ask every day to myself. I'm not joking. It is what it is. Do you take strategic decisions? Do you take tactical calls? Is it going to impact your profitability for short term, or it is going to be beneficial for you in long term? It is something which you struggle with, you fight with every day, day in, day out. See, my way of looking at things, it's while you are wanting to grow your business over long term, the short term goals and tactical calls are also important. Somewhere, the way we have been working over last 1.5 years since I've joined Lupin Life Sciences Limited, the first thing which I focused on is getting the things right. So it was slightly shorter because getting the things right, getting the deck right was the first thing which I wanted to focus on. Because, see, no matter if your long term strategy looks good, but if you're not achieving everything month on month, quarter on quarter, year on year, then I guess long term strategy is futile, right? That's where I guess it's very important for you to understand at what stage your business is. If the tactical and the short term calls are necessary at the cost of some long term strategic goals, I guess that is something which you should focus on. Because uh, if your business is not in shape, see, if the base is not strong, you can't really construct a skyscraper on it, no matter what, no matter how much resources you have, no matter how much people you have for building that skyscraper. But if your base is weak, at some point of time, the building's gonna fall, right? So it was very important for me to take some short-term calls, some tactical calls, bring people on board, not just the employees, but the customers on board, getting innovation. See, one thing which really helped me was my strategic and my innovation mindset, because sometimes that's missing. You kind of keep on overdoing operational excellence, you kind of keep on overdoing operational effectiveness improvement or efficiency improvement. I guess somewhere that injection or pumping up of innovation and the strategic intent really helped me. But once it was in place, now, if you really ask me, my major focus is 80% long term and 20% tactical. Because last year was the reverse way around. It was 80% short term and 20% tactical because I had to get the business at a level. I had to kind of know that, okay, there are challenges, but my 80% business is secure. My 85% business is secure. Now I need to deal only with this 10 or 15% challenges while I'm focusing more on the long term strategic perspective. And that's where I personally feel that you need to understand the stage or what is the priority of the business per se, and then take the call. So, yes, today, see, last year, if you really ask me, we're not good on profitability. Okay, we were decent. I wouldn't say we were on target, but this year we have managed pretty well. So now I know that, okay, I have the investing power to get the things rolling, whether it's short term or long term. And I guess profitability is one thing which gives you that confidence. Trust me. Revenues are important no matter what. But if the profitability has gone for a toss, your growth kind of takes a backseat, and the acceleration with which you're going takes a backseat. So probably as a business leader, you need to really focus on profitability for that short term as well as long term growth.
I completely agree, as well as there is a saying, right? If profit is vanity, sorry, sales is vanity, profit is sanity, and cash flow.
Reality.
Ultimately, you are in a business to make money, right? So ultimately, either it is short term or long term, the business needs to have a cash flow. It needs to be cash rich, so that you know where the investments are going. So this is pretty impressive, especially we got a bit of an idea in terms of how do you have to balance between short-term strategic priorities versus long-term business goals as well, right? So going back now, you talked about, so let's understand a bit more about your vision. So I know you've been in the business now for 9 months. So how, to begin with, how is the transition been, and what vision you have set for yourself in the next 4 to 5 years?
That's a great question. See, the transition has been wonderful. I guess I am blessed with really good people, good team, whether it's on field or whether it's within my head office. I guess I'm really blessed with people who are passionate about business, because trade generics is something which is still kind of a part of the entire Indian pharma market. But today, trade generics is growing in double digits, at least. Probably I would say almost double than the Indian pharma market is growing at. So somewhere that's the reason why Lupin has focused on the trade generics business by forming this subsidiary, Lupin Life Sciences Limited. I guess if you really ask me my vision, I want to at least grow my revenues 3 times over next 5 years. So that's the objective, and I want to double my profitability. So these are the 2 things. So 3x revenues and 2x profitability. So that is my vision, and I guess the rest all things are, I don't have to say it, but obviously not at the cost of any customer dissatisfaction. So customer centricity remains as it is, employee friendliness remains as it is, ensuring new product launches, ensuring customer centric policies. So I guess those are the channels, or those are the kind of strategic tools, or the strategic things that you will keep on doing over the next 5 years. But my vision for this business is to have revenues 3x and profitability 2x. So very clear on that front. And if you ask any of my team members, they will say the same thing. So there's a vision which has kind of trickled down to the smallest of the possible employee in this organization chart.
I mean, that literally brought a smile on my face. And one of the challenges that I often see when I talk to leaders or when I talk to employees is a lack of clarity or purpose or meaning in terms of where the business is heading. You know, I do often ask the same question to everybody, right? Where is your business going? They have no clarity. And when you said that, right, at every level within the organization, they know where the business is heading in terms of, yes, we as a business looking at 3 times revenue, we want to double our profits in the next 5 years. What an amazing motivation, and it doesn't matter what stage or what level you're sitting in the organization, but when they know that where the ship is heading, and it gives
Absolutely.
that engagement, right? It gives them the purpose or meaning that I know I need to follow my leader, and all the activities that we put in place, the opportunities to grow market share, either it comes of exporting. So where do you see Indian pharma industry is heading, Ashutosh?
See, if you look at Indian pharma market, obviously exports has been something which has been strong
Yeah,
uh, forte for us because we have got really strong manufacturing capabilities within India.
yeah,
I guess we have that talent and we have that responsive manufacturing which happens across, and we have those capabilities no matter what, as compared to any other country in India in the world. So exports will happen. Indian pharma market right now, see, there are a lot of things which are shaping within the pharma market. Like I said, trade generics is one thing which is coming up very fast, and I guess somewhere it focuses on the vast region of today's government, which is your accessibility, affordability, and availability
mm,
of medicines. And trade generics is kind of really poised to drive this particular thing and grow in double digits. So trade generics, and today, see, somewhere there was a doubt in the mind of people that are generics really good in quality, right? When you're going, and if it's a trade generics medicine, people still had that doubt. But trust me, since I've joined Lupin Life Sciences Limited, the only medicines which I'm consuming is Lupin Life Sciences Limited. So we follow the same quality, the same standard, like what you do for any goods which are sold in India. And I guess I'm really proud of that front that Lupin follows that. And I guess somewhere government is now started taking initiative where any manufacturing setup which is not following those standards, any manufacturing setup which is not having those quality adherence and standards, I guess they are kind of taking harsh calls on that. So that's the reason why the quality of trade generics is kind of getting set and assured not just by the manufacturer, but now even the government is trying to get more deep into that. So that will be one of the engine, but obviously it's not the major engine. uh, the second, which is your prescription medicine, which is kind of where the doctors kind of prescribe the medicines to the doctor and the chemist dispense in the, that's poised to grow at least 8 to 9% per annum. If I talk about trade generics, it is around, I feel around 15 to 18% per annum. We are seeing a lot of innovation around novel molecules also coming in Indian space, right? Whether it's respiratory, whether it's cardiology, whether it's gastro. Uh, I guess there is innovation, but not to the level of what an innovator probably does in the advanced countries. But there is some newness which is coming up. And secondly, over a period of time, what I've seen is the kind of molecules which are getting launched, the kind of benefits that you have, or reduced side effects that you have, that is going to somewhere really drive the market because they are getting better and better every day. Obviously, we keep on talking about precision medicine, or we keep on talking about personalized medicine. I don't know when it could happen where we just take up a pill, which is a combination of 10 pills. You never know.
mm,
I guess, but then that is something which will, over a period of time, happen because see, every human body is different.
mm.
So, over a period of time, I guess personalized medicine, once it starts shaping up in the advanced country, will definitely come in India per se. Uh, really looking at it. And then, see, a lot of other sectors which have been, I wouldn't say small, but medium scales, like say nutraceutical, if you talk about veterinary business, these things are coming up very strongly. In addition to your regular cardiac, anti-diabetes, or gastro or anti-infectives or dermatology, I guess somewhere these new spaces are coming up very fast, where you have a lot of nutraceuticals being launched because people now want to stay healthy, right? Whether it's taking protein shake or whatever it is, but I guess people now are more focused on their health. So prevention better than cure is kind of driving the nutraceutical market. Also, in addition to that, I guess another space which is coming up, and that's where Lupin is quite present into that, is direct to patient kind of services, where whether it is about diagnostic market, whether it is about uh, kind of having special centers like we have a neuro rehab center. I guess somewhere the pharma market will see pharma companies manage the entire value chain. Whether it's not just about the medicines per se, but it's the auxiliary things around the medicines which will help them drive. Because see, today, if I am engaging with a neurologist, I also know that my neuro rehab is something which I can better sell. It's kind of cross selling to them, because if you have a product which is not there in the market, in addition to what everyone else is giving, that gives you an edge over everyone else, right? So I guess somewhere those kind of special services, whether it's neuro rehab, whether it's other services which are coming up, diagnostic is one of it, because diagnostic is something which uh, is still a kind of a very fragmented market, and that's where a lot of pharma companies are focusing on. Lupin being one of them. So overall, I see the Indian pharma market will grow on multiple fronts. It's not just that I see growth only in a particular sector per se, but it will be across all the fronts. And I guess someone needs to have really strong leadership across all these fronts for you to grow the business. And I do see at least a 10 to 9 to 10% growth in the overall sector over next 5 to 6 years. That's what has been forecasted.
No, it's pretty encouraging, Ashutosh, in a way, because we India had always been strong when it comes to generic medicines, right, and as an exporter. But it's quite encouraging to see that how now India, government is also playing a strong role when it comes to improving the quality of the manufacturing
Yes,
on the
yes,
side of things. And how you spoke about is for that how companies are coming with innovative strategies, increasing the value chain, looking at those additional capabilities as an offering to cross-sell and upsell, right, for a faster growth market share. But I just wanted to understand what's the general perception of because you live and breathe in this industry, day to day, compared to us. So what is the kind of general perception from the outside market, right? How do they see India as a country when it comes to pharmaceutical sector? I know we are all good from trade generation, but when it comes to leading innovation, where you spoke about, right, what is the current perception, and what is that we need to do as an industry? I'm talking about to further position ourselves there.
I guess let's try and accept that Indian market, not the pharma market, but Indian market is extremely price sensitive market. Whether it's at patients level, whether it's at channel distribution, I guess we are extremely price sensitive as compared to the Western world or the advanced countries, right? So somewhere, I guess that is a major factor which impacts on what kind of strategic decisions you take,
Mm.
because cost competitiveness and price sensitivity is reality in the market. I guess that's something which is there. Over a period of time, I do see India becoming more self-reliant on the API manufacturing. I guess somewhere India is still not full-fledged when it comes to the raw material, which you need for the formulation, which is API. Somewhere I feel we are still not there on the API front. I guess some like the government should start supporting us to be a kind of an API hub also, because we are a formulations hub, no doubt about it. But somewhere that particular thing is missing out, because then you lose on cost competitiveness to countries like China. A lot of a lot of manufacturing setups are now coming from Vietnam, from Philippines, from Malaysia, from Singapore. I guess the ASEAN countries are picking up very fast when it's coming to this thing. So somewhere, I guess we need to up the ante, not just on the formulation per se, which help you drive the exports, but on the cost competitiveness by being more of a API hub also.
Mm.
I guess somewhere Indians are, if you understand, if I talk about the perception one thing is very clear that Indians or the Indian manufacturing companies over a period of time, all on the quality standards, on the
Mm.
US FDA standards, we have improved a lot.
Yes.
All the companies per se. And one message is now given even by the Indian government, like what I said, that if the quality is not up to the standards, I'm sorry, we have to take harsh calls. So
Mm.
that perception is changing in the market now. If you talk about effectiveness, if you talk about efficacy, if you talk about bioequivalence, a lot of things are going in the right direction because no one wants to put their brand at stake when it comes to quality. So over those years, I guess quality of any medicine manufactured, that is something which is improving. Other than that, I feel talk about any drug, talk about any molecule, it may not be available outside, but it's available in India for sure. So we have a complete range of whatever medicines we need. We may not have certain patents which are coming up, uh, but I guess whatever you need for curing any of the diseases, India has it. I don't think so. We need to be dependent for any medicine to be delivered from any other country. So India is something which gives to the world, but and is more of a consuming market. I don't think so. We import anything on the formulation.
Now that's as a citizen, right? It's always heartening to see that how we are well equipped. I mean, I know it is. We have come a long way from improving our standards, the quality of the way we produce our products, and government also played a critical role here. And thanks to all the pharma industries as well, right? They have upped the games for them to survive in the market. They literally had to come with innovation over the period of time to put us in a position of strength. We as an consumer,
Absolutely.
we are enjoying the benefits of that strength as well. You mentioned going back to the previous conversation around talent, right? Attracting and retaining talent, especially in the pharmaceutical sector, is increasingly competitive. So, how do you foster a culture that encourages? You touched upon that innovation, yet remains the loyalty for your employees as well.
I guess one thing which I really follow is reward the performer.
Yeah.
See, sometimes I feel that when non-performance gets rewarded because of whatever your favoritism you have or whatever you do, that kills the culture. It's not anything else. If you reward performance, I guess everyone knows that they have to perform to get rewarded. And that's what I follow within my team, that have no matter what, even if one person is performing and you have to always congratulate him, you congratulate him. It cannot be that you have to congratulate everyone just to be a kind of a people's person, because I am completely driven by performance. Performance will always be rewarded in my team. And secondly, I guess you need to create a purpose for every person who's working for you.
Mm.
Every person. He needs to understand at a high level what he's doing. It is not about the tasks or the project that they are working on. They need to understand what is going to impact, what is really the impact of what they are doing on a larger picture of the business. Like, say, for instance, someone is focusing on some kind of retailer strategy. Okay, you don't focus on what the tasks are, what the projects are. You have to tell them that you will be acing strengthening relationship with chemists which are there in Indian pharma market. There are 10 lakh chemists. And you imagine if you can ace it, then you are making company or Lupin Life Sciences Limited a very strong player in the market because he's the biggest stakeholder. That's where they feel that, okay, whatever they are doing is impacting in a large or a, what I can say, it is something which will impact in a very high manner on the overall business. I guess that's something which I create because I don't believe in just managing projects, just managing tasks, just kind of having a program management office. What matters is that give them the large picture, no matter what level the person is. Even if he's an executive, he may not be a manager, but if he understands that, boss, the kind of data you are extracting, you're working on, it's going to the field, and that's when they are kind of meeting the customers and they have the right information which is helping them drive the business. That person has that zeal and enthusiasm with which he will extract the data and give it to the field because he knows that that right data is helping the field team to take right decisions. So I guess purpose is something which is very important for you to create, because today's world, people want to work on something which will impact the business. They don't want to do something uh, which is just for the heck of it. And right from my intern to my highest level of the employees, I only ask them to work on something which is really impacting. So there was an intern who worked with me for last 3 months. He was given a live project of complete launch, and now he's going back to the college. And he said that, sir, I want to continue working on the project for 6 months, because after 4 hours of college, I have 8 hours. Please give me the chance to continue to work on that particular thing, because I have launched it and it's my baby and I would love to continue. And I guess that's where you have already created a purpose for an intern who's not even a part of your team. I guess that's how you kind of identify the talent, create that excitement in them, and I guess retention is an outcome. You don't have to focus on it.
That's very impressive. Reward the performer and dig deep in terms of understanding the purpose and give them the meaning in terms of that everything they do is impacting the organization. How lucky that intern is having the opportunity to shadow you and get that experience in a live project, and him at that such a young age trying to understand how his role is contributing to the bigger picture is something one can ask for, right? So look, I mean, Ashutosh, what a great insights that you've shared, right from your leadership to retaining the talent to all the way industry insight. So let's get deep a bit more about you as a person. Is there any personal habit or practice that you diligently followed? I know you did talk about the continuous learning aspects of it, but is there anything that one can take away that from you that literally shaped you as a person and you become a better version of yourself?
Okay, so first thing is I'm sports fanatic, so I guess health is the most important part, no matter what. At whatever stage you are, you need to be focused on your health when it comes to exercise, when it comes to taking out time to work out, anything. But I guess that one thing has helped me not just be a healthy person or a fit person. I guess sports teaches you a lot of things. It teaches you discipline, it teaches you grit, it teaches you perseverance, it teaches you teamwork, it teaches you strategies. And I guess that's something which I've started playing badminton since I was in grade 2, and till date I play badminton, squash very regularly, and somewhere that has helped me to be who I am today. So sports is one important aspect, I would say, which is extremely important. Second, I guess the values with which you have grown over a period of time. I guess ethics comes naturally to me,
Okay.
and that is something which is a zero tolerance policy for me. Ethics is ethics. End of it. It can't be like 99% ethics. Ethics is ethics. Either it's 0 or 1. I guess that is something which has helped me, because no one can point finger towards you for doing anything in last 17 years of my career. So I can proudly say that, and I want everyone to ensure. See, there will be challenges, there will be everything. You may fail, but I guess if that one thing you stick around, which is ethics, everything falls into place. Third thing is, I guess people are people have fear of failure. I don't. I take failure as really a learning lesson, and it's not like a leadership lesson that I'm talking about, but that's what I implement. You can ask anyone. I'm ready to fail. I have no issues. The only thing is, I don't want to be stupid by failing, by not being very right on the decision or the data which I've taken. But if I have done everything right and I have to face failure, I'm ready for it, because that gives the best learning to you. And I've seen it, because I still remember when I was interviewed in Lupin by our respected managing director. One question still kind of is stuck in my brain. It is 10 years back, but still. He said, Ashutosh, fair enough, your business wasn't performing in Mahindra. You failed. But given back, I asked you to go 4 years back into the business. What you could have done differently? Which would have led to a better outcome. And it put me into thoughts because, see, that's where every failure you have seen, if you have learnt out of it, you know that, okay, if I would have done this, I guess probably it would have been the right decision. And that's where I learn from every failure, and I take it very sportingly and very positively. I guess these couple of things have helped me. And again, coming back to the genuinity, if you're genuine to everyone, okay, that has actually eased my way of becoming a leader. To be very frank, I don't have to pretend anything else. So just just be yourself, and karma is real.
As I said earlier, it comes across, in terms of genuineness. It is oozing around, right? It is coming across, and I've really enjoyed this discussion. What I love about is, despite your busy schedule, you do take time for your sports and activities as part of your default calendar, right? Make sure that this whatever can take away your day, but you ensure 1 or 2 hours a day you spend time in your sports and activities, because healthy mind is your mind shapes your behavior. And I really loved about the fear of failure as well. The only failure is not participating, right? Don't participate in anything, then that's what the failure.
That's failure. Right.
So thank you, Ashutosh. It's been an amazing heart-centered discussion with you. Most importantly, to know you, who you are as a person, because we have seen and read a lot of articles about you being appointed as a leader of Lupin Life Sciences, but we never had an idea in terms of who you are as a person, what kind of behaviors and mindset that has shaped you to become the leader that you are now, and also follow some of your best practices as well, right? So we got to know more about you, your vision, and really wish you a lot of success. And with the kind of clarity and purpose and meaning that you have, I see no reason why you can't even push yourself a 5x. I know
That's my hidden agenda.
yeah, no, definitely, and thank you, and we really wish you all the best. And it's been, and I really appreciate for taking your time, and our viewers to know as well. I know you're based right now, while we're doing an interview. It's Sunday. You're located in Singapore, but yet you have taken time to talk to us because you value the community and you want to add value to people's growth as well. Thank you.
It's my pleasure. It was lovely talking to you. Trust me, when you are being interviewed, it's very important for the questions which the interviewer is asking, and you have asked some amazingly smart questions, which have helped me actually also to trigger the thoughts. What all things I need to do. So it has been an absolute pleasure, and I wish you all the best for kind of connecting people and shaping the future of India, shaping the future of these youngsters who probably can learn a lot from the leaders at the young age and start implementing it. So kudos to you for kind of starting this thing, and I wish you all the best and all the success. And it was glad to have this an hour chatting with you on whatever I have been and whatever I want to do in future. Thanks a lot.
It really means a lot, Ashutosh. Thank you very much, and we'll be in touch.